We've already talked about us being stupid for buying designer handbags, and we've already talked about having our priorities all wrong for spending all our money on our handbags. But today we have a new topic to discuss, and it's about why do people love designer handbags so much? This post comes from the subreddit Handbags, and I'm going to link it down below for you. So I'm going to read it out to you, then we're going to break it down and discuss each point one at a time. And then we're going to end it off with some of the juicy comments in the comment section. So let's get into it. This is a genuine question, not meant to be rude in any sort of way. What are your reasons for liking designer bags? Personally, I found that the majority of the big name designers, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, are all very generic, and their quality isn't much better than brands like Coach. This is my little Coach collection, by the way. I especially question the Louis Vuitton monogram coated canvas. It's not even leather. Why pay these insane amounts? Like, do people genuinely enjoy the way it looks? Like, I don't know. I just think for these crazy prices, bags should be unique and stunning. Not in an extravagant sense, just something that makes you really go, wow. No disrespect to anyone's taste. I'm happy that people can find beauty in anything, no matter what it is. Let me know, guys, what do you think? And I'm not hating on designer bags at all. I think Hermes has some really cool stuff, and I'm obsessed with the Studio Ghibli Loewe collaboration. I just see so much sameness among certain designers and a bunch of posts about quality issues. It just makes me go, Okay guys, so what did you think so far? This person genuinely seems like they're not hating on us designer handbag lovers. They themselves did purchase something from Loewe, which is a designer house, and they bought it from the Studio Ghibli collaboration. They're just wondering, like, why are we spending so much money on these designer handbags? And I think it is coming from a genuine curiosity, and I don't think they're shading us at all. So let's read it again and break it down. This is a genuine question, not meant to be rude in any way. But what are your reasons for liking designer bags? Personally, I find the majority of big names, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Gucci, to be very generic. And the quality isn't even much better than cheaper brands like Coach. I want to give a shout out to Coach because they do make great bags at a lower price point. But I think even though Coach does make great bags, and it is a lower price point, I still cannot deny that my Louis Vuitton bags, and these are all vintage, they're from the 90s and the early 2000s, are still holding up really good. I think that is a testament to the brand itself, that they are, well, at least the vintage bags were made to stand many decades of use. Yes, you can find vintage bags that are very junk condition. I didn't buy mine junk condition, but I did buy mine all rank C, rank D, and they had junk pockets. I didn't buy the like new ones. I didn't buy like the rank A or rank B ones. And these are, 30 years old, and they're still holding up really good. So you can't really deny that these are good quality. And I'm sure the ones that are really junk condition, falling apart, project conditions are the ones that are like missing parts or things have come undone, that those bags were genuinely used until they were broken. They were really put through the ringer and really thrashed and trashed in terms of the way they were used before they got to that condition. It wasn't like, 1 year of use and they got to that. It was still decades of use, hard use to get to that. So I think that the quality is there. I know there's a lot of complaints about the modern bags, but I haven't bought any modern bags myself to be able to experience the complaint. But with my vintage bags, I'm really happy with the quality that I've got. And these vintage Louis Vuittons, a lot of them are built like luggage. Like this one has a semi-solid base. And I can just bash my bag and it's all good. Like this handle. Look at that. Can literally take a beating. Same here with this one. I think this one is from the 80s or the 70s. This is pre-date code. I can just really smack it and it's okay. No problem there. This is my St. Cloud. This is one of my favorite bags. Again, the bottom is super structured. You can even hear it. Ow, that's actually hurting my hand. Like these older vintage bags, they're built like semi-luggage. So they are meant to be taking decades of use. Now we know that the Chanel bag and Hermes box leather bags, these are definitely more delicate than Louis Vuitton coated canvas. But still, both of these, this is from the 1970s and this is from the 80s, and they're still going strong now. Granted, this one has been sparred, but it's still alive. And this one's never been sparred to my knowledge. I believe I bought this as an unsparred bag. And these are still going really good. Now, I'm not going to bash these and scratch these like I did with the Louis Vuitton because they're probably not going to be able to handle it. But there is still a testament to the fact that these bags are still alive after 30 years. You can't say that the quality isn't there. Okay, let's continue. I especially question the Louis Vuitton monogram bags. It's not even leather. Why pay insane amounts of money? Like, do people genuinely enjoy how it looks? I don't know. I just think that for these crazy prices, a bag should be unique and stunning. Not in an extravagant sense, just something that makes you go, wow. So yes, all the bags that have monogram could potentially look the same to someone who is not into it because they just see the same monogram print on all the monogram bags. But for people who are genuinely in love with the brand, any little difference in a bag, they will always see it as a different bag. Or the same bag in different colors, they will always see that as a different bag. Now, I'm not sure what they mean by these bags are all very generic. Like, there's not that many different shapes of bags in general out there. Like, there's different variations of flap bags, different variations of tote bags, different variations of camera bags, different variations of top handle bags. But the basic shape, there's not that many of them out there, and you just get like different variations and different tweaks. And the Redditor said that they think a bag should be unique and stunning and make someone go wow. So obviously the bags that they're saying, unless it was the Studio Ghibli Loewe collaboration, didn't make them go wow. And so they're wondering, is it genuinely making other people go wow? Like, especially Louis Vuitton, which they don't really seem to see why there's a big fuss being made about it. For me, I am a Louis Vuitton girl. Louis Vuitton does go wow for me. Both the modern bags and the vintage bags, but I just stick with vintage because I've tested so many of them and they've worked out so well for me, and the price point is more suitable for my lifestyle as well. So for them, they're like, what is about that Louis Vuitton? It's not even real leather. And it is the coated canvas that is actually making me go wow. If I was an all leather kind of girl, then maybe I wouldn't be a Louis Vuitton girl. But I have collected Louis Vuitton leather. This is the Epi leather, which is gorgeous. This again is from the 90s. And the Taiga leather. You may have heard me call it tiger leather in my previous videos because my pronunciation is really bad. So it's not tiger the animal, it's T-A-I-G-A. So Louis Vuitton do make all leather pieces as well. I believe these are from the men's line. But either way, whether it's Louis Vuitton's Epi leather, Louis Vuitton monogram, Louis Vuitton Taiga, all these pieces do make me go wow. And that's why I love Louis Vuitton so much. A lot of their pieces are really classic, but with a twist sometimes. They've got like an extra piece of oomph. There's just a little bit of extra something there that makes me go wow. And actually Loewe, which is the brand that they bought, that doesn't really pique my interest at all. And I know Loewe has some really interesting and innovative designs. Like the puzzle bag was insanely popular for so long, and it did have a really unique shape. And collaborations are really funky as well because they're limited edition pieces, but just none of them really piqued my interest. So then I could ask the Redditor the same thing. Like, what made you drool over the Studio Ghibli and Loewe collaboration? That would be the same thing they're asking me. Why am I drooling over what they seem to call a generic, very generic Louis Vuitton bag? And some might even say this bag is ugly. Like, look at this, it's so outdated. This one's actually from 2012, so it's out of fashion at the moment. And someone might say, how can that make you go, wow? It's a bit ugly and outdated. But I guess everything is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? But I do want to say that I've been really happy with the quality of my vintage Louis Vuitton pieces. I can't talk about the modern pieces, but I would say the quality is there for the vintage ones. Now let's just circle back to Coach for a moment. They said that the quality is not that much better than Coach. Now for Coach here, I've got 2 canvas pieces and 1 leather piece. So you guys may know this. This is the original Coach Cassie, a bag that was insanely popular from 2019 up until about 2021. But then they seem to have discontinued it and just moved on forward with the Cassie 19 size, only the smaller one. So even though this was a great bag, they just stopped producing it. I don't know why. And then these are the 2 canvas pieces here. So these are 2 outlet pieces. These are not coated canvas. They are uncoated cotton canvas, meaning they can get stained very easily and they can get ripped. Look, I've already got stains on the front. They can be ripped and they can easily be damaged. So I'm actually not a fan of the uncoated canvas. I have a Gucci here which is also coated canvas, and I would say the quality on this one is impeccable. This is either from the 90s or the 80s. Gucci doesn't have a date code. It's got the Ophidia stripe, so I know it's a part of that collection, but I just don't know when to date this exactly. And this has been just as hard wearing as the Louis Vuitton coated canvas. So Gucci coated canvas, Louis Vuitton coated canvas, they are really good hard wearing quality. Gucci does make some uncoated canvas as well, and I would probably stay away from that because similar to the Coach uncoated canvas, it'll be really easy to stain, hard to wash, you can get holes in it. But Coach does make really good quality bags, especially their vintage ones in the leather. Those are worth collecting if your price point is a bit lower and you're into classic all leather bags. So Coach is really good, but that's not to take away from why we love the higher tier designer handbags. And I have another contemporary brand here with me, Kate Spade. And I would say that Kate Spade and Coach are probably in a similar price point. But this bag, honestly, so it still even has the original book and original tag here. So this bag retailed at $2.99 US, and I got this as a gift. So I didn't pay for it. I don't really know how much the person who bought it paid for it either. Maybe they got it on sale, I'm not sure. But this one I can definitely tell is not the same quality as the Chanel bag. Like, there's a huge difference in the quality here. This just literally feels more plastic. It feels cheaper. It just doesn't feel as good. I mean, it feels like a good bag, but it doesn't feel like a Chanel. So even though you're going to say, well, these bags are so generic, you know, is it really that much better quality than a contemporary bag? Contemporary bags, this particular contemporary bag I feel is lesser quality, but is it justifiable for this thousands of dollars price point? Well, that's another conversation as well. So no disrespect to anyone's taste. I'm happy that you can find beauty in anything, no matter what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so now we're going to get into the comments. So the top comment I see is, they're a status symbol, whether we care to admit it or not. They look nicer than the cheap bags, and I often find that a lot of the contemporary brands have clunkier designs, whereas Chanel and Celine are more sophisticated. They do feel nicer than the cheaper bags. Luxury designers do use higher quality and more luxurious leather than Coach. Is it 10 times better to justify the price? No, but once you experience really nice leather, it's hard to go back. It's not to shame Coach because they make great bags, but it's just not the same tier of materials in my opinion. They do have high resale value, which helps the price. So Tanner Leatherstein has actually dissected a few Coach bags on his channel, and there was one in particular I remember where he found that the quality of leather didn't live up to what he was expecting from the brand. And there was a bag that he dissected from Coach where the creed itself was made from faux leather or pleather. So that was kind of a bit disappointing for me as a viewer to see that Coach wasn't even using real leather on their creed. So I think, as they were saying, that a lot of designer houses, people are complaining about the reduction of quality. It wouldn't be surprising if Coach starts having the same issues as well, if they're starting to use fake leather on their creed. And actually, maybe part of the reason why the Coach Cassie got discontinued is because there was a string of glazing issues. So similar to the Pochette Matisse, this glazing on the side, people had issues with it with the Coach Cassie, and they ended up returning it. And I think because a lot of the people who noticed the issue were Pochette Matisse owners, and Louis Vuitton had the same issue with their bags too. So they were cognizant to look out for glazing issues, crack glazing, melting glazing as well. So that could be why Coach discontinued it, because maybe the Cassie original size turned out to be more trouble than it was worth to produce. Okay, next comment. I'm a big fan of Loewe, especially their flamenco. So my answer is based on their leather. I have chronic shoulder pain, and I'm very particular about the bag's weight. It's quite hard to find another brand as light as Loewe's. The flamenco is basically a if you know bag, which is ideal for me as a casual dresser. Also, I live in a humid area, so mold is a constant problem. I'm not sure why, but the mold problem is much less severe in designer bags, if it occurs at all. I keep both designer and casual bags in the same cabinet with dust bags. So that's interesting. We do get more problems here when it does get really humid during the rainy seasons, but I know there are countries that are always humid, like Singapore and Malaysia, that the people there who love designer handbags do have to have humidifiers in their bag rooms to protect their bags from mold. But that was really interesting to hear that this particular person has less problems with their designer handbags going moldy compared to their cheaper bags. So that's really interesting. Okay, next comment. As someone who buys luxury handbags, the simplest answer to this is I don't care about trends. I don't care about what's in style, what's out of style, what's avant-garde, etc. I literally just see something, I like it, I think about it, I can afford it, I buy it. I really could care less where it's from, how popular the design is, if it's Hermes or Coach, or even if someone else thinks it's ugly. I buy them for me and I'm the only one who has to enjoy them because I'm the one carrying them. I can't speak for everyone else, but that's my point of view on bags. So this person is saying they're buying them because they like them. And that is exactly what the original post was saying, was let me know why, because they see these bags as very generic and they think that something that costs so much should be unique and stunning and make the person go wow. Well, this person just answered it, that the bags that they buy, they like them, so they probably go wow when they see it, and they assess whether or not they can afford it, and then if they can, they buy it. So I think that pretty much answers the original poster's question, is do you see the beauty in it? And this person basically said, yeah, I see the beauty in it, and so I buy it. And I think all of us are in the same boat. That's why we all have different collections. That's why we all like different brands. That's why we all have different preferences, because we like different things. We all have different beauty in the eye of the different beholders. Plus, we also all have different budgets. Some of us have really big budgets. I know there are a lot of ladies on YouTube here. We're doing unboxings every month, and we're doing brand new from the store. We're doing, you know, 5-6 grand or plus at a time. And then you have others like myself. We're trying to not unbox that often. We're trying to stick with vintage only because that's more sensible for us. And we like different things. Someone who likes brand new is probably not going to like my vintage bags. And for me, I like my vintage bags, and maybe I would prefer a vintage over a brand new if I only had to choose one. What makes me go wow and what makes you go wow is different. And that's why our collections are so vast across the world. Okay, next comment. Some of the brands do offer better material. I prefer their finishing, look and texture. And I also just like the design. There are a lot of copycat designs, but deep down, I knew where these designs came from, and I don't feel like buying the cheaper copycat version just for the design. So this is about dupes. Now, I'm someone who actually has quite a few dupes in my collection. I recently collaborated with Teddy Blake to unbox this beautiful Kim bag as my dupe to Mel in Melbourne's Hermes Lizard Kelly, which was a vintage piece that she scored for $30,000, which I can't afford, but I was really happy with this dupe. This is my dupe for the Rimowa Dior collaboration mini personal case, and this is clearly not a designer piece. And this is my dupe for the vintage Chanel Diana bag, and I got this from Shein. So these bags are clearly in a different price point to their originals. So this Teddy Blake bag is nowhere near expensive as the vintage Hermes Lizard Kelly. Mel paid $30,000 for it. And this bag is retailing for $515 US. The Dior Rimowa personal case is thousands of dollars. And I got this for about $6 Australian, so definitely way different ballpark. And the Chanel Vintage Diana, especially in this pink color, goes for thousands of dollars on the pre-loved market, whereas I spent 23 Australian dollars on this from Shein. Now, these are definitely not the same bags as the originals, and they are of a different quality to the originals. But I personally, in these cases, in these two cases, am loving my dupes. And I'm loving that they're not exactly the same design. They're similar to, but not exactly the same. But this Chanel Diana dupe just didn't quite cut the cheese for me. It didn't scratch the itch. I still want a Chanel Diana. So dupes can sometimes work out for just giving you the look for less when you don't really care that much. But there are some pieces where you really just want the real thing. And the Chanel Diana is one that no matter how many dupes I buy in whatever colors, they don't scratch the itch. I still want the Chanel one. So let me know in the comment section down below, what are your reasons for why you love designer handbags? I'm a Louis Vuitton girl and I love the quality. I love that semi-luggage build. I love the monogram. That makes me go, wow. And I want to hear your thoughts. Now, if you haven't already seen my unboxing and try on video for this bag, and I also got a card holder as well, there's a double unboxing, I'm going to leave that video here for you to carry on with next.